Good morning, my people. This is Mr. Jones checking in with you on this Thursday, April 2nd, 2020. This is our AP Lang class overview for today for our 2014 synthesis deconstruction activity, which is posted on Google Classroom, and it is your Friday assignment. We're going to go over a couple activities from that deconstruction activity. I'm going to show you my annotations for a few of those activities just to kind of give you a guide on how to complete those. Also want to address any potential misconceptions from those activities to allow you to submit a very well developed body paragraph as well as thesis for that particular prompt. All right, so next slide. So materials needed. All right, as you're going through watching this video, you should also have, of course, this slideshow, which will be posted once this video is done. My April 2nd YouTube video, which will have this video. The Is College Worth the Cost Google document, which looks like this. The NIMSY document with 2014 synthesis sources. That is the annotated one that looks like this. This will be posted as well. Some key points and reminders. Today's class overview is designed to help guide you through any clarifying questions or misconceptions you may have about the Is College Worth the Cost synthesis deconstruction and body paragraph activity. It would be more beneficial if you've already read the sources before viewing the slideshow and the video. But if you have not, this will offer some more guidance. Synthesis deconstruction and body paragraph responding to the synthesis prompt is due, again, like I said, tomorrow, Friday, April 3rd at 4 p.m. If there's any reason that you cannot get it to me on time, like some have already, reach out to me by text. My number is listed here. Most of you, all of you, should already have it by now. Do that before the deadline, which is 3 p.m., 3 or 4 p.m. I can't remember. Let's give it 4. Before that deadline tomorrow. Just reach out to me. Let me know, hey, can't do it. Reason being is, again, administration is using these assignments as attendance, basically, just to see who's engaged in the digital learning on Google Classroom. So let's try to have those all in on time. All right, next slide. So our objective for today is you will be able to develop a nuanced position on whether college is worth the cost by synthesizing multiple sources into one body paragraph that directly responds to the 2014 prompt. This is important because next week your PBA synthesis essay will require you to develop an argument about what should be the primary purpose of public education and what specific reforms should be prioritized. You will use the unit sources that we've gone over, as well as some additional ones that I'm including as evidence of the first part, the primary purpose of education, and outside sources to answer the second part, which is what specific reforms should be prioritized. Important note is that instead of you writing 2 separate synthesis essays, I've condensed both essays into one. So for now, you have to write one synthesis essay for your PBA. It's just combining what is the primary purpose of education, and then the second part of the essay will deal with what specific reforms should be prioritized. Again, another reason this is important because we're in this time period where, college is a major part of public education. And we know that college tuition is high and it's continuing to rise, especially at private universities, non-state universities, liberal arts colleges. Like, the tuitions are extremely high, which is why having scholarships and things like that and grants are so important. So it's fair to ask, like, is college in 2020, in the 21st century, with our economy the way it is college still a viable option for most American households? So the sources in this assignment can also be used as sources in your PBA. So today's schedule, just watch my video, which should be about 10 to 15 minutes, me going through a few activities in the synthesis deconstruction, and your independent practice, of course, is to complete all of those activities in the synthesis deconstruction, which should take about 40 minutes. You also don't have to do all these in one sitting. Like maybe take about the first half, go through the sources, deconstruct the sources, and use that last half for actually writing that paragraph and revising that body paragraph. All right. So stage one, the instruction, you need to access the Is College Worth the Cost exit ticket, as well as my YouTube class overview video, which you are watching now. So just follow along with my instructional video as I annotate and provide clarification on some potential missteps in activities 1 and 2. I'm going to verbally go through activity 3. So we're looking at these parts right here: deconstructing the prompt and forming an argument, reading, annotating, and deconstructing sources, and examining student samples. All right, so I'm going to switch over to that annotated synthesis deconstruction activity. All right. So we're looking at activity 1. Well, the prompt is here though. So the prompt says, many recent college graduates have faced record levels of unemployment. This situation has led people to question what they value about higher education. Some high school students and their parents are wondering if a college education is worth the cost. Others, however, believe that a college education prepares students for more than just a job or a career. Carefully read the following 6 sources, including the introductory information for each source. Then synthesize information from at least 3 of the sources and incorporate it into a coherent, well-developed essay that evaluates whether college is worth its cost. Your argument should be the focus of your essay. Use the sources to develop your argument and explain the reasoning for it. Avoid merely summarizing the sources. Indicate clearly which sources you are drawing from, whether through direct quotation, paraphrase, or summary. So activity 1. Deconstructing the prompt and forming an argument. It's important to use the background information in the synthesis prompt to develop your own argument. Use the questions below to revisit and review the prompt. So in this first part, it pulls out the statement that many college graduates have faced record levels of unemployment. Explain how this fact might impact the future of college graduates. So in mine, I talked about how college graduates are being forced to take jobs that do not correlate to their earned degrees, which means that they're getting negative return on their college investment. We're looking at what is an impact of record levels of unemployment. Second part, the prompt offers 2 opposing points of view, lists reasons each group holds their belief. These are 2 of my exemplar reasons for each side. I want you to add to those. If you've already thought about those things, cool. Add something else. Maybe 2 or 3 more reasonings for each point of view. So for this one, group 1 believes that college prepares students for life beyond careers. I talked about the social relationships cultivated, exposes students to different cultures. On the group 1 is if college is really worth the cost. We can't mention that without talking about the fact that students leave school with a crippling debt and an uncertain job market. So that would cause them to wonder or question whether college is really worth the cost. For 3, describing your feeling. These are your opinions, your feelings about college. My particular purpose of college is to expose students to a multitude of experiences and worldly perspectives while preparing individuals with career skills. For B, I just kind of define that. Practical. Is a 4-year college degree practical? One way to say that is reasonable. Is it effective? Is it something that should be for most people? For C, what do you think? Again, just clarifying, in your opinion, why do you think college costs so much? All right. You may have some facts on that, even better, in your opinion. For D, again, explain. Do you plan to go to college? Explain why, or explain why not. So I want you to look at my thesis here in part 4 and 5, where it's asking you to develop your original thesis. So mine, again, we want to construct a nuanced thesis. So while it is true that the United States economy provides an uncertain job market for college graduates and tuition at universities has risen to effectively cut out middle and lower class individuals, the unfortunate truth is that college is now a necessity in a technical world, and graduates earn substantially more than non-graduate graduates, which means that non-wealthy kids cannot afford to not obtain a college degree. So my position is that college is worth the cost because graduates earn more, and the way that our economy and the industries are set up is that you have to have that college degree in this particular technical world. Like, it's just a necessity at this point. So I went through, checked off. Did I evaluate the issue by weighing the pros and cons? I did that. Did I take a position that's not mentioned in the background information? I did that. Did I clearly state what I believe? I did that as well. All right. If you feel like if you want to have somebody else look at your thesis, this is the area where you would revise it. All right. So I got about 3 minutes left in this. So the next part, annotating, deconstructing the sources. You want to examine the source documentation, the information, examine the italicized information, and examine the text for like what arguments are being made. So I chose D. Type of publication. This is a national newspaper, New York Times. What does the publication type tell you about the audience and credibility? It tells me that it's objective, well researched. The audience tends to be more educated and professional. Dates. What does the date imply about the source? What I know about this is that this was about 3 years after the market crash, which led to a spike in unemployment, especially among people who just recently graduated from college. Inferences can you make about the source? The author does, looking at the title, try to do this really quick before my video runs out. Even for cashiers, college pays off. So that tells me that the author understands the nuance behind the debate over college, and the author still believes that college is worth the cost. Italicized background information, like what is important about that italicized information and why. I said that it's indicating that the information affects the larger population and not just local individuals. All right. And this is my argumentation. So in this part, just looking at what two arguments are being presented. In source D, it says that college is a better investment for college graduates. It also says that many colleges are not that expensive. All right, put that into your own words, and then explain the relevance. Why is this argument an important part of the discussion? This will be posted for you to see as an exemplar. So in this part, I'm going to switch to this part since that one is. So in this last, So you're just looking at these underlined portions here and revising each part. So this is why it all depends on the student, whether college is worth the cost. That's not a thesis because it does not make a definitive claim. So add a definitive claim here, like revise these parts, revise that claim here and revise that commentary, both parts of that commentary here. All right. For each example, there should be commentary. All right. And that's 4 is just you drafting your body paragraph, and if need be, revising it. And 5 is just post-writing reflection. All right. So again, this is due Friday, April 3rd, 4 p.m. This was a class overview of this particular assignment. You have any questions, feel free to call, text me anytime. I got 3 seconds left in this video. Have a great day.